This has massive implications on the Buffalo Bills. During their game against the Baltimore Ravens in last week's divisional round, their defense suffered multiple game-changing injuries. My name is Maeve Miller, and I'm a member of the Bills Digest team, so please subscribe to the Bills Digest YouTube channel if you haven't already. So we're going to get into a little bit more about these defensive injuries. So three of them were pretty key, including cornerback Christian Benford, safety Taylor Rapp, and linebacker Matt Milano. Christian Benford suffered a concussion in last week's game, and he had limited no-contact practice on Thursday and then sat out of Friday's practice due to personal reasons. So that does make me worry a little bit about that, and he is currently listed as questionable. Taylor Rapp, he left the game in the second quarter with a hip injury and was actually carted off, so you kind of tell how severe that injury was. I didn't realize at the time. And yeah, he is listed as out. And currently, Cole Bishop, who is a rookie second rounder out of Utah, plans on replacing him. And a lot of people have been a little iffy on Bishop, not sure if he can fill those shoes. He has played in 16 games this season, but has mostly been on the special teams. And this is what he had to say about him playing. He said, "It's easy to say it's just like any other game, but everybody knows it's really not. So being able to just prepare throughout the week, and then once Sunday comes, like you've done everything you can. So at that point, there is really nothing you can be nervous for. You prepared, and now you just got to go make the plays." And I actually really like that mindset because, like, it isn't like any other game. This is a really most important game of the season. But he knows that if you prepare well, then he'll feel good for Sunday. So some other injuries include Matt Milano. He was out with a hip injury. He also did no contact on Thursday, but went back to practice on Friday. So that is hopeful. Another thing to note is that the Bills elevated safety Kareem Jackson and center Will Clapp from their practice squad. So we'll monitor that and see how that goes. And sadly, Andy Reid had said that the Chiefs have no injuries at that time. So that does put us at a little disadvantage. But if we get Benford and Milano playing, I think we'll be okay. And then next, I want to talk about how will the Bills beat the Chiefs. So obviously, there's been a lot of matchups between these teams. We've seen it year in and year out. Honestly, as Bills fans, we're slightly traumatized from the Chiefs in the playoffs. But at this point, we know what to expect. Like, we played them many years, many heartbreaks, including AFC Championship in 2021. And we've lost kind of in every way possible. Missed field goal last year, losing in under 13 seconds. And then the first three we played them, just getting blown out. So obviously, the offense and defense to play very well. But I think one key way is the offense needs to have a good running game. If we can open those running lanes with our dynamic trio of Ray Davis, James Cook, and Ty Johnson. I think if we can get them the ball more, or Allen has more play action opportunities, the Bills can be successful. And also, it's pretty simple because when the Bills run the ball, when teams run the ball, they're on the field more. So the longer the Bills are on the field, the less time for the Chiefs offense to be on there. So if you can just do simple things like that, I think that'll really make an impact because they have a very explosive offense and they're scoring a lot of those times. So obviously the O-line also has to play well, and they've protected Allen very well so far this season. They've had great blocks, including, remember last game, my hometown hero, Dave Edwards, had a really key block to get Allen into the end zone. So, I mean, they've been playing so well all season. The O-line, the running backs, Josh Allen. So if they just play how they have been in the past, like, we can get a win. Obviously, the defense does have to make some key stops, but it is going to be more of an offensive powerhouse game like we saw last week. But the defense did end up shutting down Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, so you never know. And I just think if we can keep the Chiefs on the sideline as long as possible, and once he does come out there, the defense just needs to take control of that game. We do lead the NFL in takeaways. We have the widest turnover margin. So, I mean, we're putting up really good stats. And it's important to note that Kansas City, in their game against the Texans, only averaged 4 yards of play with only 212 yards total, which is not their norm. But that means they're beatable. Obviously, they did beat the Texans, but they're a beatable team with those numbers. And I thought it was interesting, the Buffalo Bills account called Buffalo Fanatics posted something with the question I posed: how will the Bills beat the Chiefs? And I just thought it was interesting to bring up some of those things. So people said, keeping track of Kelsey, keeping Allen protected, making full contact on Mahomes, like putting a lot of pressure and just not holding back, which I think is key. And I like to hear the public's opinions on that as well. And other people said, I thought this was interesting. Said, in my opinion, the biggest factor is time of possession. I don't trust our playoff defense, and the best way to circumvent this is to keep them off the field. Hold on to the ball longer and hold on to it last. And I think that's just a very simple way, but and the second person said just score more points. So, and then this other one I thought was interesting. I don't think we'll have too many issues offensively. Defense needs to step up and not slow down. I'm sure Kansas City has lectured the entire week and how to force turnovers. Defense did well in the first half of the Baltimore Ravens, but struggled like crazy in the second half, which is true. Obviously, you come out explosive and, in any game, any sport, as the time goes on, you get a little bit worse. So if the defense just holds strong, especially our safeties who are making key tackles. We talked to Mark Hamlin making multiple tackles. So I just think if they can do that, definitely stopping Kelsey. Once he gets on a roll, it's kind of hard to stop him, and him and Mahomes just have that connection. So I think that is very important as well. So lastly, I kind of want to talk about what does the public think? So obviously, people are really into this game. Everyone talks about it. And I just want to talk more about like what are some analysts saying. Like Colin Cowherd actually said that his money's on Buffalo. He said, Kansas City, I think the jig is up, which I like to see. He actually had a lot of good points. He said, I think the O-line's been better, the running backs have been better, the receiving people have been better. And I like that confidence, but I've been, looking through the internet and just see what people say on NFL, CBS. And it's honestly a lot of 50-50. I'm seeing half people say Chiefs, half people say Bills. Currently, the Chiefs are a 2-point favorite, but I thought that's a small margin that doesn't matter as much. But I'm seeing a lot of people say the score being 24-21, either on either side, Kansas City or Buffalo winning. And most people have kept that in pretty small numbers, like 30-27, 20-17. So I think it's clear that whatever happens, it's going to be a close game. Obviously, I'm hoping that the Bills will blow them out, but it's just not as realistic of a thing to think. And then on Twitter, I saw this image a lot of just like who the country's rooting for, and you see like little Kansas City pocket, and then like the Jets, New York City, and Boston, New England area, and obviously Miami are not rooting for the Bills. But I just think it's interesting that like the whole world is rooting for the Bills right now. Like I'll go to the grocery store in my Bills outfit, and I'll just people say like, oh my God, like we're rooting for you, and obviously we love the support. I just think people are tired of Kansas City making it again, and we would be the only team to lose 4 times the same team in the playoffs. So I just think we got the world rooting for us, and I would really honestly hope for a win. Duh. But if the Bills play how they have, and they use that support from the public right now. I saw an awesome video of a bunch of Bills fans flying into Kansas City, and they're all decked out in their gear on the plane. They have like Josh Allen like head things, posters. So I think we need that support from the fans. I'm glad the fans are traveling out there. But let's use this motivation. Allen doesn't want to lose again. He remembers the heartbreak. Where's that picture? That he doesn't want to feel like that again. The iconic picture of Diggs, staring at the confetti of the Chiefs. Like, we don't want that to happen again. I know he especially doesn't. And obviously, if the Bills were to win, this would be the farthest they've made it in Allen's career. And that'd be the first time the Bills make it to the Super Bowl in my lifetime. So I think it'd be very exciting. And yeah, defense has to play well. Offense, Allen needs to kind of hold himself in from making some of those bonehead plays. Obviously, he likes to put that cape on and have that superhero role, but I think he does need to rein himself back a little bit because we do see him making turnovers and dumb plays. And he's reined himself in amazingly this season for that, and he's, diversified the ball and just shown that he doesn't have to do it all himself. Obviously, I would like to see him running the ball more, but if other people can make those plays without him getting hurt or him having to make every play, I'd like to see that too. Moral of the story, I don't care how it gets done. I don't care how the win happens. I just want to see it win. So we'll see how this Sunday goes. Hoping and praying for, this win. Go Bills, and thank you for watching.